What's up? This is Ryan.
Hey, and it's Michael. Welcome to another episode of All Day Unpacked.
How's it going?
It's going all right. Welcome back. You were gone
Thanks.
there for a little bit.
Yeah, I did a little vacationing overseas.
Yeah.
Now I'm back and I'm gonna get caught up here a little bit because you probably know a lot more about what I know about what's going on right now. What's been happening the last few
Well,
days?
first I got to ask you, did they let you drive the boat with that hat? Because you looked like the sea captain there, big guy.
Well,
Just
I mean,
curious.
I sailed the Atlantic, my friend.
All right. Well,
Arr!
that's good. You look like you came straight out of a Wes Anderson film there. But all right.
I
I'm glad.
did.
I'm glad your life aquatic went well.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I'll tell you this: Ping Island was everything I thought it would be.
okay. I'll remember that. I have not been, so
Okay,
I'll write it in my I'll put it in my list. All right, so
do
we're
that.
so you picked a good time to be gone. We finished up the conference champions, the championship games,
Yep.
where it kind of went how we thought it was going to go, unfortunately, which was the Eagles took care of business against the Commanders, and the Chiefs broke the Bills' hearts yet again. And
Yeah.
God,
I
you
did
want
tell you that the Eagles would win that game.
you did.
I just want to say that.
You absolutely did. I thought the Commanders were
And
gonna,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And they crushed them.
Oh, they
It wasn't
did.
even close.
It was they put a 50 burger on them. So,
Yeah. I just,
um, hey, let's
I
just
like being
hope.
right. So I just
I,
wanted to
I,
say,
I do. I like you being right on that one too. But I wonder if the Eagles didn't like use up all their points in that game, and now they're gonna like, oh God. Look, I don't really have anything against the Chiefs per se. I know they're like the new Patriots, and so everybody hates them. But I don't really like. I don't hate them yet or anything, but I do kind of, it's like, but I also don't really want the Eagles to win, to be honest with you. I just don't care about the Super Bowl. I mean, like,
I think that is like what I'm gathering from a lot of people. That's
yeah,
just, I think people are watching it because they're just programmed to watch it, but this is not a good Super Bowl unless you're a fan of both teams
I think it's going to be, you know what,
or
the
either team.
last, the last Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl was actually a really good game. So I
Yeah.
will say that it will probably be a really, like, I have found in my life that when I go into a Super Bowl like this and I'm like, I don't care about this Super Bowl, it tends to
Right.
be a really good Super Bowl. So I'm hoping
Right.
that's what happens and it sucks me in and then it gets me all like into the game because the last Eagles Chiefs game was, I mean, there was some really great plays in that. That was the game where the Eagles were like running away with it, but then Jalen Hurts had that fumble and Nick Bolton takes the touchdown in
Yeah.
defensively and kind of turns the tide and gets the Chiefs back into it. I mean, I think if that didn't happen, the Eagles would have won that Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So I'm hoping it's another
And
game
so
like that with some crazy moments and stuff.
I don't think it's going to be like that. I've got a wild prediction, and my wild prediction is that Kenny Pickett gets in the game and Jalen Hurts gets hurts.
Yeah. All right.
Or possibly Carson Wentz. I feel like one of the backup. I don't know. I was looking at Playbook and
Yeah.
I see Carson Wentz and Kenny Pickett, and I'm just like, when was the last time a quarterback got hurt in the Super Bowl? It's been a while.
I mean, has it ever
So
happened?
I think it, oh, I know it happened in that one championship game to the 49ers when Brock
Yeah, when
Purdy got
Brock Purdy
hurt. I,
lost.
mm-hmm. But I don't remember if it's happened. Oh gosh, did it happen to the Bills one year? Did what's his name have to come in
No, he
for
was in.
Jim Kelly?
Remember, Kelly was out because
Or no,
remember
the
Frank
Giants.
Reich.
Did Phil Sims got hurt? Did Jeff Hostetler have to come in?
Maybe.
I mean, I'm going back.
I know
I'm
you are
going way
going
way
way
back.
back.
Yes. So anyway,
Yeah.
bottom line, it hadn't happened in a while.
All right.
So I, I think it's gonna happen.
So you
I
heard
think
it.
it's
You
gonna.
heard it here first, everybody. Kenny Pickett is the playbook play for this week. Are you? Is
Yes,
that who you're? Is that who you're rolling out? Kenny Pickett is your guy in playbook this week.
I would say. Well, I'd have to acquire Kenny Pickett first, but I
Well, you
say
have a Kenny
Chiefs.
Pickett rare.
I actually don't.
Really? Well, I'm
I
sure it's
think
like
there's.
$2, so you could roll them out. And you could roll them out in rare.
How how much is a Kenny Pickett rare? I bet you it's more than you think it is.
I'll bet you a Kenny Pickett rare is under $10 easily.
Hey, you got a Kenny Pickett you want to give me?
Yeah,
I
I'll
mean, if
give
he's
you. You
only
know what?
two.
Yes, I will loan you a Kenny Pickett rare if I have one. You absolutely may have it. Let's go look.
Hey, Kenny Pickett's got he's $12.
What?
Yeah,
Is it his debut moment or something?
he's only got one rare.
And it's $12.
Yeah,
I would have definitely taken the under on that.
Yeah. The
Oh
highest
yeah, it's
offer
a
is four
dynamic
bucks.
moment. It's how much? Four
Yeah.
bucks?
Four
I do
bucks. That's the
own
highest
I
offer.
Okay, so I do own one Kenny Pickett dynamic rare from last season.
Right. So here's the deal.
It's all yours.
If if Kenny Pickett gets, let's just say he gets in the game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's fucked.
I mean, not everybody
Everybody.
because Mahomes could still run for 20 yards or whatever it is.
Oh, you're right. I thought there was some way that. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, the Saquon Barkley. That kind of ruins my theory.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say. It's got to be yeah, it's so there's so let's talk playbook for a second and then we'll
Yeah,
get you
let's
back on
let's move
track
over
here.
that.
So last week, well, 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, Playbook had no winner because Saquon had 15 carries and needed 17. And so everybody, so and nobody, no running back had over 15. So actually no, Kareem Hunt did. It was Kareem Hunt who actually I think hit, but Kareem Hunt doesn't have like a legendary or no, did he have a rare? Maybe whatever. Point being, no one hit rare, nobody hit legendary. And so they
Yeah,
took all the prize money, they doubled it up to this week. And so now we're looking at a 60 grand payout. So 40 grand going in the legendary, 20 grand going into the rare.
yeah.
That's some pretty good money. And I feel like it feels like they made it pretty easy. I don't know. Maybe again, like you
I
said,
like
someone gets hurt, but you got a quarterback who runs for over 20 yards.
this.
Okay. And both Mahomes
Yep.
and Hurts average over 20 yards rushing yards a game. You got
Do
only got to
they?
hit 50. Yeah, you only got to hit 15 attempts rushing. And I mean, unless Barkley gets like decapitated or literally his leg is broken, he'll get 15 carries. And then you need
Yeah.
a receiver with 50 yards or more. And I feel like
Okay.
AJ
Here's what I'm gonna
Brown,
say.
Devonta Smith, probably
There's a
Travis
couple things that I'm
Kelsey,
seeing here. Number one is that Patrick Mahomes averages 20 yards.
21 or
20
20
even.
point. Oh, is it?
No,
Oh, it's 20
20
point.
20.2. So he
Okay.
is they got him right at the average. So it's basically everybody's banking on Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Okay. If Jalen Hurts gets hurt, I mean it's gonna be tight.
Yeah. I feel
And
like
the
this is a
other
game
thing,
where Mahomes will run a few more times though. Like if I went back and I actually looked at the last Super Bowl that these two teams
okay.
played, and they both ran quite a bit.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah. So and in
Okay.
fact, what I thought was interesting too was Pacheco actually had 15 carries in the last Super Bowl. So
Really?
yeah, so I know, but
I
they
think
didn't have Kareem
they're
Hunt.
gonna right, right. I think I mean, here's the thing. If for any reason Saquon Barkley doesn't hit, it's a wrap.
I would like this is what I'd love to see. I'd love to see like like Barkley miss, which he won't, because he'd have to get hurt, and I would never root for someone to get hurt. So unless Barkley rips off, unless he has 7 carries that all go for touchdowns or something. But I would love to see like Barkley get like 13 carries and uh and then like Pacheco hit or something, and then only two people win. But let's be honest, Barkley's gonna hit. Uh, and on top of that, if you look at so they're doing this locking right now with the conference championships, so that there's going to be a few more Barkley legendaries introduced. So
Okay.
you're going to have probably, I would guess you're probably going to have about 100, probably about 100 people hit this week.
Think so?
Yeah, I do.
I think so. I think something's gonna go sideways here.
I don't. I think it's gone sideways. I think it went sideways last week, and I think this is the time where it goes. Like, because again, it's just
Yeah,
carries.
I
It's
mean,
15 carries, and then it's a receiver getting 50 yards. And I mean, what are the
yeah, but
chances
okay.
AJ
Okay,
Brown
let
or
me just
Devonta Smith or somebody, and maybe 100, maybe I'm being generous with 100, so maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but I feel
yeah.
like it'll be close. I feel like it'll be like in the 60, 80, 100 range that hit.
All right. Again, I think it's one game and it's a Super Bowl
But it's
and
low
I feel
numbers.
like
These aren't. I mean, look. All right, I'm pulling up
okay,
for receiving. AJ Brown
hang on.
averages 75 yards a game. Devonta Smith averages 60 yards a game. Travis Kelsey who has had a bad season but has come on in the playoffs, averages 53 yards a game. Xavier Worthy is at 40 yards, Hopkins at 34. So
Okay.
as long as you have like an AJ
Okay.
Brown, Devonta Smith, maybe Travis Kelsey, you're going to be fine. And then if you're digging into like the Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown, DeAndre Hopkins land, you're just hoping for like a big play. And like one of those three guys will probably wind up hitting because I'm telling you, I bet you either Worthy, Hopkins, or Brown hits because of one like big bomb play that happens.
Yeah, I'm looking at the at Barkley's carries, and there has been 2 games where he's been under 15.
Which
But
two?
some games he's carried. Okay, so let's just say this. The game against the Commanders, he only had 15 carries.
Yep.
So he was right at 15.
But he was hurt.
So
He was kind of hurt in that game, and they were up so
okay,
big. Like,
right.
here's the thing:
Okay, they
they're
played
not
at the
gonna.
Cowboys,
Yeah,
14 carries.
I don't know. I don't
Um,
know what his status was there, but he what his
and he played at the Buccaneers,
yeah.
10 carries.
Hmm.
So, and he's had, Saints 17, Browns 18, Giants 17,
Look,
Cowboys again 14.
I'm not saying put your life on it. I'm just saying probably gonna hit.
Probably. I mean, yeah. I'm cheering for some blood in the streets here. I want to see some fun.
You want to watch it
I
all
don't know. I
burn
want to see.
again?
Yeah. I mean, what are they gonna do? Like double it up and like put it on the draft or like
Roll it over to next year, I would guess. Like I don't like. Hey, I mean, here's the thing: if it doesn't hit and people want to cry about it, well, like tough shit. Like I
No,
mean, like
I don't think
I
anybody
think
would
this
cry
is a
about it.
pretty well. Somebody will, trust me. If somebody cries about
Well,
everything,
somebody will. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't like. I'm not a fan of when they do carries
layups.
because
Yeah.
I don't know why it's layups, but I mean
No, I
just
mean it's a
carries.
layup. Carries the layup to me because it's like do a guy who hits over a certain number of yards where it's like, again, like then it's like, well, do I play like or a run over 10 yards? I mean, it's probably gonna be Barkley either way, but it's like then a guy like a Pacheco is like worth a play versus
Right, right. Like
so
make it more like diverse
yeah.
in like who you
I
can
do
actually
agree.
play.
It's like Barkley or bust on this one, which again
Right.
is why you're seeing. So while you were gone, some interesting things happened around Barkley legendaries because obviously everybody wants a Barkley legendary to play
Yep.
for this game, and so you're seeing the prices go sky high on those things. There's three of them, and they're all in four-digit number land now. There's not. I mean, you used to be able to get one in like the like kind of like last week it was up in the 8 900s. Now it's over. Everything's over 1,000. So you're
Okay.
seeing a ton of people trying to like secure that Barkley so they can play the Super Bowl for that money. I saw Barkley today go for $1,700, and it was
Wow.
the Series One. It was a Series One, and it wasn't like a
There's
special
only
serial
one
number or
series one.
anything.
Yeah.
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 So it's interesting. We're seeing a lot of people like, and so on top of that, they did a challenge with the conference championship series that just came out. There's in the wild card and divisional, there was no legendary moments. So there's a
Okay.
legendary moment in the conference championship. There's seven in that series. You lock those seven, guess who you get? Saquon Barkley. And so
Okay.
to get the locking crate, you had to burn Saquon Barkley's. So there were five, six, seven or eight Saquon legendaries were burnt in that challenge. Now
Okay.
five will, so
Not burnt, but traded in.
traded in, right? And they'll go into future like Grail packs. And so,
Sure.
but out of the ecosystem for now, so not playable, but there will be an introduction of a number of Saquon Barkley's back in due to the locking challenge. So anybody who collects all seven of the conference championship legendary moments can lock them for a Saquon Barkley legendary.
Got it.
So
Okay.
yeah, I yeah, it's interesting. That was that was for me. It was you look at that, and that was like a honestly, had you acted early on that, you could have basically with just burning a Series One Barkley Legendary, you could have got all those other ones plus another Barkley Legendary. So really good value was achieved by the people who got in and were able to burn for that, especially the first three who only had to burn one Barkley moment. That was a big win for those folks. That was
Got it.
something I was looking
Got
at
it.
and should have pulled the trigger and didn't, but big win for them. So,
You were mentioning something about they did like a giveaway and like this for cereals and somehow that went sideways.
yep, there
What
was a
happened
bit there
there?
was a bit of a whoopsie. Yeah, so there's the like there's been a ton of trade-ins, right? Trade-ins for like, get a legendary. They did trade-ins for the Regal Rares and the legendary rookie moments for like Penix, Ricky Pearsall, for all the guys, Jared McMillan, for the guys who basically got introduced later on and they never had done
Okay.
those trade-ins. So they did the trade-ins for the rares. Now they're doing the trade-ins for the legendaries. I think they either are about to finish or just finished today, but they're like, so that's just finishing up. But what they were doing was for those conference championship legendary moments, you could burn legendary moments of that player to
Okay.
earn to try to earn that legendary serial jersey serial. Well, they
So
accidentally
you would
gave
burn
out.
you
So
would
go
burn
ahead.
the ones that you already had?
Yeah, so like for instance, let's take like Zach Bond, I know is one of them. So you had to
Okay.
burn Zach Bond legendary moments to get a Zach Bond legendary serial of the
Got it.
of the
Okay.
jersey. And so what happened was that serial jersey for three or four of the players were distributed as rewards for a different challenge on accident. And so people were pulling jersey serials when they shouldn't have been. Now they have them. And so you have people who were, going to burn for a jersey challenge, and that jersey challenge was suspended and taken away because obviously there's nothing to burn for. All the moments were returned,
Oh, they were
but
returned.
yeah, they were. But what's going to happen is you're going to have people who the moments that they had put into burn were returned. But what's going to happen is like, let's say I was going for Zach Bond and I bought two more Zach Bonds to burn because I really wanted that jersey serial. Well, I just wasted money buying moments now that I have to sit on. So rightfully so, people
Okay.
are upset. But it's one of those situations too where it's like, did you really buy it for this? Did you buy it for that? Like people are coming out of the woodwork. So there's some people who legitimately bought them for the burn. And then you've got people who are saying, hey, I bought them for the burn. So now all day has to kind of Dapper has to sort through all that and figure out, which ones were legit, which ones weren't, who deserves what, and
Yeah,
made themselves a hot little mess. So
that sucks. I mean, mistakes are going to happen along the way, and I guess, if you're the person that it happens to, it sucks. So
they
I
are, but
feel for
it's like
them,
this
and
product, it's like, how many years in are we? And it's like, I mean, come on. It's like, this kind of mistake shouldn't happen. There should be some sort of it. Sometimes I do worry about this kind of stuff. It does feel a little bit like, are they, like how many people are running this thing? Like, are they just spread that thin that they can't catch stuff like that? Or, like
I mean,
I
that's
do
kind of
worry a
a
little
that,
bit.
I mean, I I would think that it wouldn't matter how many people they had. I could see that happening with. I mean, you made it sound like it was only a couple players. It's not like they
It
did it with
was.
everybody.
No,
So it's like if a couple slipped through the cracks and like, were they great players? I mean, like, was it like, I mean, Zach Bond
Mahomes
is
was
not
one of
like,
them.
oh, was he?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I think the Mahomes was one of them, and then so was might have been Hurts. So I don't know. I wasn't paying. I could well actually hold on. I could tell you because I can tell you who's up
I
and
mean,
who's.
yeah,
I think
I
the
don't
other one
have
might have
to
been
know, but
Scary Terry.
got it.
Let's see here. What do we got? We got let's see. Time's up. So no, it wasn't Scary Terry. It was okay. The three that made it through were Scary Terry, Jalen Hurts, and James Cook. So it was
So
Mahomes.
no Patrick Mahomes.
So no Mahomes, no Bond, no Xavier Worthy, and the seventh one was
Oh, you're saying that there were
hmm,
7 guys that this
there were
happened to.
seven legendaries in the set. Four of them
Oh,
got
wow.
through. It looks like Mahomes, um, Zach Bond, Xavier Worthy, and one other guy. And I'm not
So those were good.
Josh Allen. That was the other one.
Okay, so all those were good,
Yeah. No, all those were
but the
those got through. So the ones
oh, those okay.
so Mahomes, Allen, Worthy, and Bond all
Okay.
got through. They all went out and got distributed. So those are some big ones.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. And the
Huh.
rookie revelation legendary packs have been distributed. So there's actually no there's oh wait, I take that back. Zach Bond's legendary serial is now back on. They've got that, like they're saying you can get the
So maybe
legendary
they
jersey
found that in the
serial. So
pack or
either they
something.
found it in a pack or they got it back somehow. So that's back on. So I see that's
Good
on
for
here
them for
now.
that.
So then it's just Mahomes, Allen, and Worthy were the three that made it then.
Okay.
So so
Yeah,
yeah, so that's the only trade in that's live right now is the Zach Bond legendary jersey serial, and yep, people have already started putting back in for it. So looks like right now, yeah, it's
got it.
one one Zach Bond is in the lead. So whoever submits two Zach Bonds will get the jersey serial as of right now. But there's 12 hours left, so we'll see how that works out.
Got it. I can't imagine that having a jersey serial of Zach Bond is worth
If you're an
burning
Eagles
too, but
fan, it is.
mm,
I
really?
mean, the Zach
How much is the
Bond
Zach
isn't
Bond going? How much is it going for?
291 actually right now is the
Oh,
average sale
okay,
price.
maybe. Okay, and if you
Because
can
it is,
offer
I
it for
mean,
lower,
here's what I'll say. It's his only legendary. He's a defensive player who makes a lot of tackles, so he'll be useful probably next season as well. So it's a good, I
sure.
feel like that's a good investment right now.
I mean, I would say you'd be better off keeping the both of them and selling them when he like is needed for tackles for Playbook next season.
Yeah, but
That
again, like, look,
if you're a fan, if you're a
Jersey
fan,
cereals,
yeah,
yeah, they don't make sense like utility wise. They
I
make
know.
sense in your heart because you love the player or you love the. He's a great story. I really, like this is the guy who was down in New Orleans, was a special teamer, and now all of a sudden he's like this, like tackling machine up in Philadelphia. So
Yeah,
yeah, he's a great story, and it's like guys like that. It's someone you want to get a good jersey of some or a good cereal of sometimes. So
got it, got it. Okay,
all right, so yeah, so that being said, that was kind of what happened there with that. Little bit of a snafu, but hey, they'll recover. They'll get back up.
yep,
Um, so yeah, so now we're down to the last week. Last week of
we are.
moments, last week of trade-ins, last week of playbook, last week of everything. And what's your Super Bowl take? What do you got? I mean, I know you said do you
Uh,
think Pickett's getting in because
yeah,
Hurts is
I
hurt, but
think 31-18 Chiefs,
okay. So
something
you're
like that.
so not I wouldn't say a blowout, but not a close game.
I I, I think that like the Chiefs have played some close ones. I mean, I don't, maybe they play close again,
I
but
feel like
I
it's
don't know.
another close game.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
really do. I just
I would tell you this. I would say just here's what I did during the Chiefs Bills game. I didn't put any money on that game, right? Game starts. Watch the game. Bills go down, Bills score. The Bills are like Bills are plus or the Chiefs turn into a -2 and it's a tie game.
yeah,
Well, you know what you do, right? Right then and there. You put money on the Chiefs to go kick the winning field goal and win the game. That's free money every single time.
yeah.
And it sure
I
was.
I did that. I did that. I put my entire account on it.
Yeah, I same. It
In
just
that in
is.
that same exact moment, I waited for that moment,
Yeah,
and I waited until the Bills were favored by a little bit, and I didn't have a ton in the
they weren't
account.
favored. No, they weren't favored. They were only they. It was what it was that they were 2 point. They were a -2 or they were a +2. So it was Bills +2 at that point that you're talking about. Basically, it was the
Ooh.
Chief. Yeah, the Chiefs were -2 because the Chiefs were up. The Chiefs were tied. So basically, they were saying like the game. They were saying because there's a chance the game could have gone to overtime. So the spread went to -2 for the Bills. And the Bills never
I
went.
thought there was a point. Oh, I thought there was a point in the game where the Bills were favored.
Oh, are you saying earlier in the game?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about the last drive. Sorry, no, maybe
No,
earlier
no,
in
no.
the
I
game
was
there
I
was.
no, I did it earlier in the game. I said I'm going to bet on the Chiefs. I'm just going to wait until the Bills get to a point and where they
Right.
think the Bills are going to win, and I'm going to say, you know what? If the Bills win, then I win, and if the Chiefs win, then I win. So
So
I'm good.
same thing this week.
Yep.
I'm just gonna wait
Well,
till
I
the
mean,
Eagles. Yeah, wait until the Eagles are close, and then just throw
I
up the
couldn't
farm
wait.
on the Chiefs. You put
I threw the farm on the Chiefs the second the game was over. I'm like, I'm not even messing around. I'm throwing the
yeah,
farm on the Chiefs
yeah. I
because
mean,
I feel like
money
the
line or
odds are going to
spread.
start. I went money line.
Okay, that's probably a better bet because it's a what, 1.5?
It was one at the time that
One.
I did it.
Okay. I mean, a
Yep.
1 point spread, I would take I mean, you might as well take the Chiefs minus the one because the worst thing you do is push if they
Yeah.
win by one. You get your money back.
Yeah.
So
I'm more of a win-loss kind of guy. The
I
last
know
thing I
you
want to
are.
do
I
is
know you are.
I cannot like if the Chiefs kick a field goal and win by 1 point and I lose, then
You don't
I can't
lose. You,
handle
you
it.
get your money back. You just don't win. If it's
If they win
minus
by
one,
one,
if it's a one, yeah, if it's a minus one and they win by one, that's a push. You get your
oh, it
bet
is a pu-
back.
okay.
You
I guess I
get your
didn't
bet
realize that
back.
was push.
Yeah.
Got it. I don't do enough gambling to know that.
No, yeah, you're fine there. But if it's 1.5, then then the Chiefs would win by one and you would lose. So I thought it was 1.5. It's down to one, which means money's going on the Eagles, which to me says that's bad. The Chiefs are going to win. So Chiefs are going to
Yep.
win. They're going to three-peat. That's history. There's going to be another Mahomes ultimate or something. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Here's my upset pick of the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes will not win the MVP again. It'll be somebody else on the team that wins the MVP. That's my
Hmm.
wild
I
card
mean,
pick.
has Mahomes won?
Yeah, he's won the last two.
I think they'll find those give it to him anyway.
No,
I think
I
even if
think it's gonna be like
he'd have to play really bad for them not to give
it's
it to
not gonna
him.
be that. I think that he's gonna have like a guy I see this as like a
You're
game where I
thinking
think
like Deion Branch, like
I'm
how
thinking
he
like,
got
yeah,
instead.
you wanna know who my sneaky guy is for this game? Noah Gray. The second tight end for the Chiefs.
They're never, even if he scored 85 touchdowns in the game, they're never going to give it to Noah Gray.
All right, let's just
They
see.
would maybe give it to Travis Kelsey, and they would maybe give it to a defensive player
They
if they
gave it to
did
Deion
something
Branch, and
spectacular.
Deion Branch was the WR3. So I don't care.
Tom Brady wasn't the name that he was back then. That's Deion
Yeah, he
Branch got it
was.
back when it was more of a defensive win on that one, if I
And
remember
that's what
right.
I'm saying. I think that this game is going to be more like 20-17 and two touchdown catches and 85 yards for Noah Gray, and one of them is like the game winner clutch catch or whatever. I don't know. I look, hey,
Put some money on that one because I'll tell you right now, ain't
um
nobody in the world gonna pick that one.
I know. I'm just having a little fun. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, the only other person I can see on the offensive side is Travis Kelsey because that would be like a story.
yeah, or if like
So if
again, it could be a running
it,
back if like
they ain't gonna give it to old woman beating Kareem Hunt,
no, but if like Pacheco had a good game or something, or if I mean again on the
Pacheco
other side,
may.
if the Eagles somehow do win, Saquon's going to be the reason why, and it'll go to Saquon. It won't be Jalen Hurts. Like
I would think that you might be right.
yeah,
Yes.
Jalen
Yes.
Hurts has
Yeah.
like not been. Although this could be the game, right? Like everybody's down on Jalen Hurts and says how crappy he is now, and like he's like kind of eh. Maybe he goes out and
Hey,
throws four touchdowns.
it could be Kenny fucking Pickett, KP in the house. Kenny's cutting in,
All right, now
and
there, put your money there. Put your money on Kenny Pickett, and that right there. I mean, what do you think the odds on Kenny Pickett have to be like? What 10, 20,000? I mean, I can't even imagine what the odds are for Kenny Pickett to
yeah,
win the
I
MVP.
would.
40,000?
Oh man, I have no idea.
Is he
I'm
even
not logged in.
listed? Is he even an option?
I'm sure he has to be
I mean,
listed.
I'm sure there's some degenerate gambling site where you can bet on Kenny Pickett, but most
I
reasonable ones
mean,
are just not going to even offer that.
why not throw $3 on Kenny Pickett winning the MVP?
I mean, sure, if you want to just piss away $3, that's a great way to
I
do it.
mean, when you're gambling, you're pissing away money anyway.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a
you're
fair
talking to a
point.
bunch of guys that are buying, all day stuff. So it's like,
We've pissed away a lot more
I,
than $3,
I mean,
haven't we?
I paid $3 for a Kenny Pickett comment, so
You probably paid more back in the day.
probably did. So why didn't I
All
give him
right,
a
fair enough,
shot?
fair enough. $3 on Kenny Pickett. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Are you buying Kenny Pickett for your playbook lineup?
I don't know. It depends. I mean, I see that. I mean, again, I mean, you kind of made a good point in the fact that, Mahomes could get it if
Yeah, but
Jalen
like you
Hurts
said,
did get
Mahomes
hurt.
only averages 20.
I mean, God, that would be like the Christmas miracle of all Christmas miracles right there.
I mean, you want to talk about a long shot. The only problem is that who are you going to play? You're going to have to play Saquon with Kenny Pickett then at running back.
Yeah, you'd have to play Saquon.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I don't know if I've got a Saquon to play.
yeah.
So,
I mean, let's
so
just see.
yeah, I might.
Holy shit! So Kenny Pickett's legendary is going for $475 right now. That's the
Yes,
low
but look what
price.
the high offer is on that
All right,
thing.
the high offer is $39. All right, I'll tell you what
Kenny's
I'm gonna
cutting
do.
in.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put an offer out right now for $50 on Kenny Pickett. All
But
right,
why? Are you
why
gonna
not?
play him?
Yeah, sure. If I get it for $50, I'll play him. All right, there goes an offer, $50.
There
Kenny
you go.
Pickett, $50. It's out there. Take it. It's easy money. That's all you're gonna get for Kenny. This is Kenny Pickett's high point, so you might as well just take your $50 right now. Take your L.
I think Kenny Pickett could come in and he could. What does the quarterback have to do? Run. I think he could run for 20 yards.
Oh, he would definitely run for 20 yards. Kenny Pickett's a runner. No, if
Yeah,
Kenny Pickett
and
gets in, there is no
he'll fake
question.
slide. He'll
Yeah,
fake slide,
he'll fake
and he'll get
slide
his
and
20
he'll run
yards.
for 20 yards
And,
in two plays. Yeah,
yeah, and they'll lose 42-17,
yep.
and
But he'll
there you
hit his
go.
40 yards. Yeah, for sure. I
20
would
yards.
say here if you want like your yeah like you really want to like win, that'd be one way to do it.
I mean, could you imagine winning like the whole? I mean, you would win the whole damn thing
Oh yeah,
if
you would
Mahomes
win
didn't
all
hit.
40 grand.
Yep,
I'd tell you
that
right,
is
there is no one else playing Kenny Pickett on
no.
any level.
And unless they've got a Saquon and they've got a receiver and they don't have a Mahomes or have a Hurts, and they're just like, well, the only thing I can do is play Kenny Pickett.
I don't. I mean, okay, yeah, maybe
They'd
there
probably
is
not.
one
They'd
person
probably
out there who has Kenny
right. They
Pickett.
might just choose not to play instead. I don't know. They'd probably
Let's
choose
look.
to sell.
Elephant Man 222 has three Kenny Picketts, so maybe he will take one of those. Kenny Pickett's not
Or
very well distributed. Like there's a lot of people who have. Yeah, no,
there's some
it's
hoarding going on.
yeah. There's some Kenny Pickett hoarding going on. Four of them are locked. Five have been burned. There's only 25 Kenny Picketts left in existence that are legendary.
Ooh. I don't know, maybe Elephant Man needs to
Yeah,
go for the fences.
swing for the fences. I mean,
Wouldn't that be great if it was Carson Wentz that ended up doing it?
well, no,
And
because
they just
there's no legendary
yeah, I
for
know.
him.
I know. That's
I
what makes
want
it great.
somebody to win, even if it's not me. Even if it's the one guy who plays Kenny Pickett, I hope someone wins this money.
Yeah.
Um,
Wouldn't that be the worst to play Kenny Pickett, get that right, and then get the receiver wrong?
oh god, you'd just be
AJ
like,
Brown doesn't hit.
yeah, exactly. Oh, that would just yeah, that would be the like worst
I
feeling.
think all day'd have to give you the money anyway.
I think they would too. I'm just looking at like I was curious to see like who's like the bottleneck right now. Like let's say Mahomes doesn't run for 20 yards, right? Let's say it's just Hurts. Hurts has, let's see, if he has 80 plus, he has 138 legendaries right now. But he's gonna have or no, this includes the new playoffs. So he has 138 legendaries as of right
Who
now.
does Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
So um let's do a little bit of math here. Let's have a little fun real quick and then we'll wrap up. But it's what 40,000. And what did I say it was?
What,
It was 8138. All right. So let's say everybody plays Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and AJ Brown and hits. That means you're still walking away with $290 per
if everybody
person.
hits?
If everybody, let's say just if Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback that hits, okay, and everybody
Yep.
has a Jalen Hurts plays it and happens to get it right, that would still mean everybody would win $290. But knowing that, we know, first of all, I can tell you right now that there's that new one. There's probably a bunch still in packs. Well, not a bunch. There's
Yeah.
only eight. So there's only eight still in packs, five in reserve. So that's 13 missing right there. Let's see. What about this other one? Four in packs. So that's 17 missing now. So there's still so that would be yeah. So okay. So yeah, you're looking if Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback that hits, you got, well at like 300 and something dollars there per person.
So then what I couldn't quite wrap my head around is why somebody would pay $1,700 for Saquon Barkley when you're kind of jumping in the pool with a bunch of people that are going to win. It's not like you're playing Saquon and you might win it all. What would be the point in doing that?
What would be the point in doing that? Well, okay, let's realistically look at how many people own Saquon, Jalen, and AJ, right? It's
I mean,
probably it's probably like what? Maybe, I don't know, 80 people, let's say, right? That own those
right.
three. So
Okay.
so then
It's going to come down to the receivers, though. I mean, I feel like that's where the whole, like, if there's going to be anybody who wins and loses, that's where you're kind of, I mean, there's not one receiver we're relying on here. There's multiples.
yeah, there I don't that's why I'm saying I don't think receivers where you win lose. I mean,
No, I
first
think
of all, it's running
receiver is,
back and then it's quarterback.
I think receiver is where you win or lose.
Why? I
Because
think I
who's
think
going to hit?
multiple receivers are going to hit.
You think so?
50 yards? Yeah. I mean, like AJ Brown
Like,
is going to hit.
does Dallas Goddard hit 50 yards?
He doesn't have a legendary, so it doesn't matter, but he averages over
Okay.
50. But you're looking at AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. You're looking at most likely Travis Kelsey. And then, like I said, one of those chief receivers is going to hit. One of those, like, probably worthy, but a Hollywood Brown could, or even a DeAndre Hopkins could have a big game. One of those kind of guys. I want.
Yeah.
I feel like this might be a DeAndre Hopkins game, just because he's. You look at the Eagles' corners; they have really good, like, sticky corners, and it feels like there's going to be some balls that Mahomes is gonna have to throw. I mean, again, depending on how they cover the tight ends, if they put, like,
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't know. We'll have to. It'll all depend on how the Eagles play the defense and how they get after the
Right.
quarterback. So,
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
what
this
I'm
could
curious
be
to see is how does Barkley do against the Chiefs defense? Because historically, the Chiefs defense has been what's kind of won them these Super Bowls, is that they're able to shut down whatever the other team does well on offense. Not
yeah.
completely, but well enough that they can stay in the game and win.
Well, I tell you, I don't know. I feel like this receiver thing is going to be where the game is won and lost.
So you're
I feel
saying
like
you don't think a lot of receivers are going to hit over 50 yards?
well, I think there's a lot of options. So
I
you
don't. I
can
feel like
only
it's
choose
pretty
one.
simple.
So who would be the three that you would choose?
AJ Brown.
You choose AJ Brown. Okay.
Yeah, no question. AJ Brown,
Okay.
Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts. Those are the three you roll out.
Yeah. I mean that seems like I think most people are going to roll out those three.
It is, and I think we've had enough, like, kind of, oh, whoops, that one didn't hit. I think this is the game where just rolling out the normal lineup pays off, and that hits. Now watch me be
Yeah.
dead wrong, but
No, I mean you could. Yeah, I mean you could easily be right. I'm just
I
yeah, I
mean,
wonder about
AJ
that.
Brown's had a couple of duds. He's certainly. There was a game, it was a playoff game, a couple playoff games ago, where I think, or it was either the last week of the season or the first playoff game, where I feel like he had like 30 yards receiving or 20 yards receiving or something. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it's just Super Bowls are so weird. It's like they're
they
not
are.
like
But
regular
look,
games because it's like you're
did you look
managing
at
it to track
the did you look at the last Super Bowl stat lines at all?
for which game?
For the Eagles Chiefs games,
From 2 years ago
from 3 years ago?
or 3 years ago or whatever. The last
Yeah.
time they played each other? No, I have not.
So I'll pull it up right now and we'll walk through it real quick. But I'm telling you, it's like,
But I mean, you cannot like.
I
I
know
mean,
you
that
can't.
was
I'm not saying you
you
can, but
can't.
I'm just saying it gives you a good feel for, like how the game could go down. But, like, just so you know, here you go. Mahomes had 44 yards rushing. Hurts had 70 yards rushing. Now they had no Barkley, but still, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pacheco, 15 carries, 76 yards. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and Jalen Hurts had 15 carries for 70 yards. Those were your two that had 15 or more rushes. Okay. Now, receivers over 75 yards. Kelsey, 81. Devonta Smith, 100. AJ Brown, 96. Dallas Goddard, 60. So you had four receivers go over 50 yards. And of
But
those
it was a
receivers,
high scoring Super Bowl.
it was 38-35, and there was defensive touchdowns. But I'm just saying, what about this Super Bowl is, how much have these teams materially changed over the last 3 years that makes you think that it won't be of an evenly, like a Super Bowl with some scoring? And I mean, how does Barkley? So Barkley needs 7 carries per half, basically, or 8 carries per
Mhm.
half.
I mean, I would say looking at this, I would say unless the Eagles get behind early or something goes sideways, you're probably right. Barkley probably does get his carries. I mean, that to me, just based on looking at his season so far, he had 31 carries in a game. So they're gonna ride Barkley unless they have to catch up. So if the Chiefs come out and get out to a huge lead at the beginning, then they're going to be passing trying to get down the field. So that would be the only
But
thing that could take.
even then,
Even at that,
yeah.
even at that, he probably still gets 15. But I mean, again, there's been times where Derrick Henry's been the guy, and then all of a sudden it's like in a big game, Derrick Henry, like I think there was like in the Buffalo's Bills game, he was
Derrick,
nowhere to be
yeah,
found.
Derrick Henry is a different like that. The one
I
knock that I'll
understand.
he's a different type of back. Like Derrick Henry is like a guy that's got to get going. Saquon Barkley is not. Saquon Barkley is a guy who makes offense happen. Like he's
Right.
more elusive. He's quicker. He's like
Yep.
I mean
But
he
what
is
if
the
what
best
if
running
the what
back
if
in
the
the league right now. Period.
right? But what if the Chiefs show up and they say our game plan is to shut down the run and make them pass?
And I would assume that's what it is going to be, right? Like you've got to
Right.
assume that they're going to do that. The other thing I'll say too is that like from what I remember in like watching the playoff games, the Eagles pass rush didn't seem great against the Commanders, and the Chiefs pass rush against the Bills was unbelievable. So like they
Yeah.
were real like there was a play there was a remember when they blitzed the Bills 2 plays straight and the Bills just Josh Allen just was like throwing the ball up. Like there was nothing he could do. They were confusing the Bills
Yeah.
and the Bills just
On
were
that
like
on a fourth down, they kind of confused him on
it
that
was a
corner
third too.
blitz.
They did it 2 plays in a row. But anyway, point being, um, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
I know.
we'll
I mean, I they never go down the way you think you're going to go down. It's like, I think of like, what about that the Rams Patriots game? Like we were just like, what the fuck, you know?
yes, that one I agree. But
Now that's
this
an outlier.
last year's Super Bowl went down pretty much how you thought it would.
Who was last year? This Chiefs who? They all run together for the Chiefs.
Chiefs Niners last year.
Niners. Yeah. That was a good game.
It was a good game, but the Chiefs won. Just like the year
Yeah.
before, it was a good game, but the Chiefs won.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know. Yeah. You know what? I just fucking hate the Chiefs and I don't want them to win. But I'd rather see the Chiefs win than the Patriots win. So
well, the
as long as the
Patriots were
Patriots
nowhere near the
yeah, and I hope
yeah.
it's that way for another 20 years. So as long as that's happening, I don't care who wins. I can live with the Chiefs. I can't live with the Patriots.
Hey, you know what they say? Duval.
They do. Hey, you know what though? If he starts winning games, it won't fucking matter. I mean, they said the same thing about what's his name, Dan Campbell.
That's all right. Ben Johnson had a bad like first social media post too, so it's all good.
Did he?
Yeah, it was. These guys are corny. They're just trying to do whatever. But
Yeah. Let's just hope he's better at coaching.
oh man, he has to be. But anyway, yeah, it'll be fun. We've got a whole off season to talk about that kind of stuff. But all right,
Oh yeah.
we'll be back for Super Bowl slash all day season recap
Yeah.
episode, and to talk about how the Chiefs probably beat the Eagles. And
Come on, Eagles.
I mean, yeah, come on,
Come on.
like just do something. Like, don't come on,
Yes.
do something.
Come on.
All right,
Win the goddamn game.
all right, we're
All
out of
right.
here, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Peace.